Yeah, what's up, dudes? So today in this video, I'll be showing off my 96 Camaro. And I did make a video like, I don't know, like 2 months ago when I first got it, just like, I guess it's like a little introduction. So this is like the actual video now. So this is what it looks like on the exterior, as you can tell. And it's already a little dirty because I just washed it. I literally washed this yesterday, and it's already turning yellow because pollen is horrible this year. But as you can see, I got the T-tops in there, and this is the interior. The window motor, or the window isn't all the way up because the window motor doesn't work. Like, it just probably rolled a window about like 2 inches down it, because it's just like, you know what, I'm supposed to roll down the window, but I disagree with doing that right now. So yeah, and also in this video as well, I'm gonna go over the issues with this car, the parts I bought, and I'm gonna show the parts I got, and I got some coming in the mail right now. And I'll show you the finished product with them probably in the next video. So I'm going to show you the car right now, not in perfect working order, but it's working properly, but it has a few codes. I'll put a picture up on screen right now of all the papers that show all the codes I have and all the problems it has. Most of it's just sensors, but it also has a misfire and exhaust leak. So I believe that's I got a 301 and 304 codes, so that's P0. Then I got a 400, which is EGR, and 420, which is catalytic converter leak. Because the car only has one catalytic converter right now, because the previous owner kind of rigged it. And I believe it's on the driver's side where it's missing. I'm going to go underneath on the ground and see if we can find that. There's a really bad weld under here somewhere. Alright, I couldn't find it, but I'll show you actually right now. So I'm going to pop the hood up, but the problem is with the hood is the supports don't want to stay up. So I have the 2x1 somewhere, or 1x2 to hold it up, but my brother took it out when he took this car to prom. Yes, he took it with an exhaust leak and misfire, but hey, got a lot of questions about it, so got a chance to talk about my car, so I gotta find a hood latch now. Alright, this is a Z28 as well. I don't know if I mentioned that in the beginning of the video, but this has the LT1 V8 in it, and this is the exhaust setters here, and I'm gonna be replacing these because of the issue it has. Like, I'm gonna be replacing all the the EGR and everything, and I believe it's right down there. There's a really bad weld. You can't really see it though, but there's a rigged exhaust pipe down there, I believe, on that side. So yeah, this is the engine here. Got a misfire, cable throttle, which is awesome because it literally, the response from it is so snappy. K&N cold air intake. I just cleaned that filter off a couple days actually, and I don't know where I put that little plastic piece out. I'm probably gonna just buy. I wonder like 2 cents for them. And I'm probably gonna be replacing these headlights too with some LED ones. And this one looks like it's okay. Good. That one's full on blinker fluid. That one's full on blinker fluid. Blinker fluid's a real thing, guys. You got to make sure you fill up on it. It's definitely not a joke or anything. And I just realized my transmission dipstick is loose. I should probably fix that. All right, hood is shut. That hood literally weighs a ton. So the way you open the trunk is are the keys in my pocket? Yes, they are. So this car has 2 keys here. These 2 keys here. The one with the chip in it starts the car. That's all it does. This one unlocks the car and opens the trunk. So the trunk support doesn't stay open either. But you just basically turn this. I believe it's to this side. Yep. And hopefully it'll want to open, because it weighs a ton too. Oh, there we go. Yeah, this is my trunk space. There's quite a bit of it. I got a milk crate in there I gotta take out because I'm putting my records in there, and I gotta clean it too. I'm gonna make probably a video about my records soon, but yeah, there's quite a bit of trunk space in here. I'm not gonna move that little piece out the way because this trunk weighs a ton and I don't feel like holding it anymore. Oh yeah, so if any of you guys are asking, I do actually have an aftermarket radio. There it is. I don't have Bluetooth, so that's my radio. It works, I guess. So in here we have the center console. Yep, just like that. And there's my brother's Pearl Jam CD. I did not look in there for it. Well, I found it. And here's the glove box too. The previous owner actually did not really clear it out. But yeah, it's just full of stuff, just owner's manuals. There's actually a couple of cassette tapes in there, but I have no way of playing cassettes, so I'm not really interested in keeping them. So yeah, this is just some stuff in here. I gotta clear that out. Then here's another piece I gotta replace. My license plate is up there right now because I really don't feel like putting on the front right yet. I did find a bracket online that was like $100, and I'm like, I don't really feel like buying that right now. I want to deal with the big issues first before I like deal with cosmetic, and I mean, even though that's legal, but I want to just deal with that first. And also the dashboard piece, I've been looking on Rock Auto for that. They have this, so this here's, I believe, is going to cost about $89 or so. And same with up here, I took off the headliner because it was just sagging, so I think I'm just going to put one that's just hard plastic because it'll look smoother with the T-tops, I believe. Probably try to find something that matches this color here, which is like a darker gray. And yeah, and this is how you take the T-tops off here. I'll be showing that in a little bit. I'll get the tripod and show you. And what else we got here? So this got to be replaced because this was broken off here, because all this is, I mean, I love this car, but the 90s General Motors interiors are a bit cheap, so all this is just cheap garbage plastic. Same with this here too, that's popping out, so that gotta get fixed. And these seats as well, they have a bit of a tendency just to move a bit as well, so I'm like, I think I'm gonna replace them eventually. Just that's not my priorities right now. My main priority is getting everything to run perfectly normal and making this car sound cool. And I'm going to talk about the exhaust system I'm doing when I go into the patio and show off the parts I bought. Actually, I do have this I could use for the radio here, like a Bluetooth like unit, but this piece here doesn't want to stay in, so this will just fall out and I'll just get really loud and noisy static, and I'm like, I really don't want that. Also, I forgot to mention that this air freshener is cool because it spins the record, and I also got this because why not? Also, one thing I gotta fix as well is the brakes have to be bled. Like, you can't really feel it now because the car isn't running, but when you push the brake pedal, you can feel it kind of, it feels a little spongy, so I believe there's a bit of air in the lines, but I don't know yet, I haven't really looked, but I'm like, I'll definitely like flush the brakes out, or yeah, bleed the brakes and see what happens. Hopefully that'll fix everything. Also, right in here, I got a bootleg CD with some driving music. You can tell because it says driving music on there. There's a straw wrapper from McDonald's probably, because I don't throw away my trash because I forget. Also, thanks to how I have the steering wheel turned, it's hard to see the gauge cluster, but so everything on this works normally except for the gas gauge down here, and that's important because this car is not the greatest on gas right now, especially since it's misfiring and the exhaust is rigged so the 202 sensors are moved to the passenger side instead of having one on each side. So my gas gauge is this little guy right here, the trip odometer. So I've so far driven about 30 miles since since the last time I filled it up. Then down here is the usual, just move the steering wheel up and down. The turn signal, which has a very tactical General Motors click. Then fog lights here, I always have them on whenever the lights, they'll come on with the headlights. And this is the headlight switch here, and this just turns the brightness up and down for the gauge cluster, depending on how bright you want the lights. Alrighty, but now I'm going to take you inside and I'm going to show you the parts I bought, and then we'll take it for a little spin, probably around town or something, and so I could show you how it drives before it's been properly fixed up. Alright, so right in here, I got the parts I bought. I'm going to just pull them all out the box real quick and show you what they look like. Alright, so time for a bad unboxing. Also, I have a mullet now, and if you don't like it, I don't care, but this is the goes off the passenger side here. This is the Y pipe. This is the second part of it, so basically just if I'm doing this right, I believe it just goes in like that, and of course someone welds it together, and I'm not doing that because I can't weld to save my life. Then here, this is all the boring stuff. This got like O2 sensors, like in header bolts and stuff. We got a couple O2 sensors here, and I have another one in that bag there. In case someone's like, "You're an idiot. You only bought one." Then in here we got the long tube headers. So these are I bought off of Summit. The original plan was with this car was to keep it all like bone stock, but I'm like, I couldn't find the parts I needed for this. For it to keep it stock, because it's like the car's a 96, you know, so it's like finding parts are difficult because they're all discontinued now. Why would General Motors still make them, you know, because the car is almost 30 years old. So I got the other headers in there as well. So yeah, this is the headers I got, and you know what, I'm gonna talk about some customization too. I want to do with that car. So the original goal was, like up till about yesterday, was to rebuild the whole exhaust system, but then I went underneath of it and took another look at it, and I saw there's some weird areas how the pipe is bent. So I'm like, I don't want to spend all that money on labor. So we're gonna just everything after the Y pipe's gonna be the original exhaust. There's no leaks after the Y pipe here. So most of the leaks, to give you an idea, are here after where the catalytic converter was cut, because the guy who welded it before was like drunk or something when he welded it and did a horrible job. So up here is like a bunch of like holes and stuff where the exhaust leaks. You're gonna hear it when I start the car up, and then when I take it for a ride. I'm not gonna rev it though, because I'm literally in the backyard right now, and the neighbors are home, and I'm not trying to be disrespectful. So maybe if I take it to a park or something, I'll rev it a little bit. But yeah, one of the other things I want to do as well with this, with customizing it, is I want to put a Cherry Bomb Vortex muffler on there. I believe the part is 88110. So I'm going to put a Cherry Bomb Vortex on there and make the car nice and loud. Hopefully bring down property values. So that will be pretty damn cool. So that's my goal. I want to make it nice and loud. There's some videos online of what it sounds like, and that's what I was going off of. And looks like I'm being joined by Molly. This is Molly here. I never shown her on this channel, so this is her greeting, her rubbing her head against my ass. But yeah, I believe that's everything I have to show off for this car. And I have 2 new catalytic converters coming in as well, 2 Flowmasters, 3 inches, because this is 3-inch exhaust system. I was trying to keep it original 2.5 inch, but I couldn't find it, so this is what I went with. So yeah, hopefully it sounds good and everything works right, which I don't see why it wouldn't work. So yeah, I think that's it with all the parts I've gotten so far. I have more on the way still. Like, they'll be coming in on Monday, and I'm recording this on Friday. Alright. Also, I forgot to mention as well, I got these 2 stickers on there, American Muscle, because obviously get those proud Americans to enjoy my car and be like, that's American muscle. Then the Summit Racing Equipment, because that's where I got all my exhausts from, and I got a few sensors from there too. So I'm gonna go start it now, and you'll hear the exhaust leak and you'll hear the misfire. And it's on coils 1 and 4, I believe. I don't know if I mentioned that, but yeah, it's on coils 1 and 4 are bad, and you probably saw in the paper I showed in the beginning of the video, if I remembered to overlay that. So yeah, I'm gonna go in there and start the car now. Yeah, so from back here, the exhaust sounds pretty normal, but once you go up front, you'll hear the leak, and I believe the alternator is bad too, because it's making a bit of scraping noises. But I'm gonna take this camera off the tripod real quick, and you can also, it's running rich, so you can smell the gas from like 10 miles away. But this is what the stock exhaust sounds like mostly. It does sound pretty nice though, but it's me Cherry Bomb, so it's be nice and loud. Property values will go down. And I'm also going to put no exhaust tips on here as well. I'm going to put ovals on there. I'll put them up on screen right now. And yeah, it'll look pretty cool. So, up here is where the exhaust leak is. You can somewhat hear it. If I give it I'll give it a little bit of a rev. I don't want to rev too loud though, because I don't want to piss the neighbors off. But right over here, you can hear it. Yeah, right down there. So I don't want to piss the neighbors off, so I'm not going to rev it too much. And yeah, that gas gauge there does whatever the hell it wants, so it's mostly full right now. I've only driven 30 miles, so I think I've only burnt like, I don't know, maybe like 2 gallons or so. But yeah, I'm going to take the T-tops off, and we're going to take this car for a little ride. Yep, that's how we roll down the windows. I mean, look at that. You can't say that's not a nice car though. That is so fucking sick. Look at that. For those of you still wondering if I stole my Grand Prix, yes I do. That's it right there. I own 2 cars and I'm 19 years old. Why? Why not? We're gonna be going down the same back road I took the Grand Prix down. I'm not gonna really floor it though, because this car has that misfire and it's just gonna start backfiring, and I don't want to hear that because that scares the shit out of me. But yeah, I'll give it a little bit of gas. I'll like rev up to like 4,000 or so. Sweet car. Such a sweet car. Like, how can you hate it? Alright, this is the same back road I went down in the Grand Prix in that one little video. I'll put that up on screen now. But this is the same back road I went down, just cruising. I do cruise a lot in this car as well. It's like, I love driving this car like to death, even though it runs a little bit rough right now because of that mist. See, so fucking sweet. Look, I got the little record spinning. Yeah, I love that thing. My grandpa found that on Amazon, and I was like, that's pretty damn cool. I'm gonna pull up into a little park, and I'll give you a few revs of the engine, just so you get more of an idea of how it sounds. All right, we're gonna start off with what the revs sound like inside the car and then outside. So inside. Yeah, you can hear a miss every so often. Yeah, you hear it? You hear that miss every so often. I'll give it a couple revs from out here too, so I'm pissed to make people walk. Dude, I thought that little speedometer thing over there was the police coming at me for revving. I'll say, if somebody called the police on me, or they're over there like fucking pussies. Alright, so before I go, I just want to talk about what it's like driving this car. So, one big thing you have to keep in mind while driving it is, if it's raining, my suggestion is just don't drive it, because the back end weighs like nothing. So, like, God forbid you push the gas a little bit while it's raining, the back end's just gonna go everywhere. For this car it has 273 rear gearing, and for being 273, it's a very, very tail happy car. And also as well with this one in particular, just be aware of like the mist and the exhaust leak and all that, and how rich it runs. So you gotta keep in mind that you burn a lot more gas than usual. Probably about like, I think this is supposed to get like 13 city, but I think right now it's probably only getting like 9. So I only get about 176 miles per tank or so if I'm driving around locally. But yeah, what else do I want to talk about? Oh yeah, the steering wheel. So the steering wheel in this, compared to the Grand Prix, it's a lot heavier. The steering wheel in the Grand Prix is very light. This is a lot heavier, so when I go and drive the Grand Prix, I end up oversteering. Like the other day, I almost steered into a curb after driving this around, so it's just like, you gotta keep in mind that this drives a little bit different as well. It's a lot more aggressive, and it likes to move. Even though it's misfiring, it still wants to go. Also, I don't think there's anything else I really got to cover in this video, so hopefully you enjoyed. There'll be another video coming out, and hopefully within the next month or so, when my exhaust system is fixed and when the misfire is fixed, I'll put a progress video up, probably like a short little video. Just a progress video talking about like everything being fixed and everything, and I'll give you a few revs as well. So yeah, hopefully I'll see you then. See you later.